Hello, my name is Andrew David Vondenhugel, and what I want to talk about today, my mind's just kind of been all over the place, so sorry if I can't stay on track with one certain subject because there's a lot that needs to be talked about and discussed. But what I want to really get into is the Bible and how it's a tool it's such a big topic that it's hard to really narrow it down and talk about it. And I'm guilty of this too, of not moving, I can't even find the right words for it, interpreting it to see it in our lives, to be able to see these stories play out in our lives, to be able to connect with these stories. And that's what they are, they're stories. And, maybe they have spiritual advice in them. But even at that, this book was written by men that seek to control minds, propagated by people that wanted to control minds, because they seen it as a perfect tool. Because you are going to be intellectually entrapped by these stories. And I'm not saying that they're not beautiful stories and them connections aren't there, but why are these connections there? They created them. They created these problems, these spiritual problems. They've created the book for people to make a connection to. This fables, there are stories in there with underlining spiritual tones to them. But if those stories weren't there, and if these situations weren't created throughout our lives, would we have a connection to them? No. So when I do it with music a lot. I find a lot of connections, like I can really feel the vibe of the music, and it's the same thing. It's hypnotic, and it's suggestion. It's suggestion, and it's getting you to forget the moment, because you're worried about how can I interpretate this, or how was this meant to be interpreted. Instead of just living your life, now we have another level of mind control that is supposed to be a book of liberation. It's supposed to be a book that sets you free. And I'm guilty of making the connections of trying to connect certain stories to Jesus, or what would Jesus do, or Yeshua, whatever you want to call him, because all in all, it's a spirit, it's a Christ, and all of us are this Christ already. But when we fall from grace and we start living in sin, and we start living in these suggestive interpretations of a piece of art, then we're missing the mark. We're actually becoming the mark, because we're suggesting to other people that these things are life. This is the life of humans. This is the life of people that's overcoming their trials and tribulations. in which these trials and tribulations, like I said before, they're created. They're created by these people in control, that's been in control, and they've learned and understood and have been able to really study the human psyche and the mind of how it works, and they've known how to manipulate it and usurp the power of each and every one of us. And that story is nothing but us having to go through their interpretations of life to get our power back. Now, I know some of you guys out there listening are probably familiar with the book 1984. Now, see, this is me intellectually suggesting or making the interpretation that that book is a story of the human spirit. I forget the character's name in it now, but anyways, he goes through this whole time when they're trying to get him like 2 plus 2 is 5. You know, that is them manipulating the human into through the spirit, through the subconscious. You know, this is them. So when we come back, we love Big Brother. So their job is to beat that spirit out of, beat the Christ out of us in this life. And I see it happening. I see it happening everywhere. Loneliness, the sorrow, the pain that I'm seeing in all of our lives, going through this huge trial and tribulation of everything that's going on in the world right now. You know, and it's playing out perfectly the way it's supposed to, and that's the way this realm works. It works flawless, effortlessly. And we are falling for it. Or I can't say we, but a majority of people are falling for it. A majority of the people are getting vaccinated. And it is killing the Christ, so that when these people come back, because of the sin, living through the sins of our fathers, they will come back loving Big Brother. Because that Christ is being killed. And we need to nurture this nature, this natural spirit, this natural human behavior, because it's being manipulated and it's being controlled into hatred, and they're calling it love. It's doublespeak. If you're not seeing this, you know, the whole vaccination because you love your grandma, and if you're not getting vaccinated or wearing your mask, you're a grandma killer. Sacrifices, and it's just hell. This realm, we're creating a perfect heaven for a Satanist, if you can understand that. This is becoming the perfect playground for demons, corporations, because these things, these entities, these intangible, there's nothing physical about them. Sue Walmart. You're suing a name, you're not suing any particular man or woman. You know, so what does it matter? It's just going to change its name. The enemies are immortal. Only their names and faces change. Because the enemy is a spirit. is a false spirit, is an authority. It's an illusion. Get out of the illusions. Snap out of it. Start melting everything down to the tangible, to the things that you can grasp, spiritually, physically, because it's all entwined in this realm that we're in now. And that's what matters. Many are suffering. Many are going to suffer a lot more until we can overcome these trials and tribulations that have been set up by the people that seek to control every aspect of life, nature, even the world. I'm not one that wants to let this happen. That's why I'm started making these videos. I'm getting over my anxiety, over my fear, and I am asking you guys to start doing the same and getting into boycotting these systems of control and just living your life. Start doing what you want to do. And I'm guilty. I want to do it too. I want to just start doing what I want to do and not have to worry about who's going to kick in my door, who's going to take my family, who's going to kick me out of my home because some entity, some corporation thinks that they own it, think that they have a right over my person or my body, my physical being that I am. It's ridiculous. So, I don't know, just wanted to get some of these things off my chest, and I know this may be I can't think of the words. See, I'm having a problem with words. I got so much on my mind. But it's definitely going to get people maybe not liking me so much for speaking like this. But, you know, this is just a part of my growth. And it is subject. But after boiling it all down and really meditating on this, and it's taken me several months to actually put it together, and I didn't really know how it was going to flow out in this video, but this is how it did. And I hope that it made sense and you can see the way that I'm looking at it, that you know, we need to get over these systems of control on all levels and stop intellectually being so attached to these belief systems, these books, ideas, myths. I'm going to leave it there for now. See y'all soon. Thanks for watching.